Today we're talking about Modify video from Luma Labs. For a while we've had Viggle and Vase and runway references, but Luma Labs finally threw their hat in the ring and it's looking pretty promising. Today I'll go over several of the features and how to use them and a few little weird things that I noticed along the way. Your first step when you get to Luma Labs page is to click Modify. The second step is you want to load a reference video. In this case, I'm going to use this shot of going through the streets of New York City. You can click the video tab and trim the video if you wish, or you could just go on towards the next step, which is loading a reference image in the Style tab. I'm going to use this futuristic image as my reference image. The Style tab is the circular icon in the middle. Click the Preview Start Frame button, and here's where the fun really begins. You are brought to an interface where there are 3 sections, and each section is organized into 3 subsections. The first section is Adhere, which they say indicates to adhere to image structure details. The second section is Flex, which indicates that it can be more flexible on the image structure creatively. And the third section is Reimagine, which means to reimagine image structure. The reimagined settings are supposed to be the strongest settings to modulate the creativity of your videos. With each of the 9 settings, 4 preview start frame images are generated for a total of 36 choices you can have as a starting template for your videos. But it's not at this point yet reliable in giving you a sample of what is actually going to be generated. Here, I am on the 3rd tab of the Adhere section, and I like the style of these samples, so I will use this one. And wow, I kind of like this. It picked up the reflective quality of the street in the preview. If we look at the difference between our generated image and the original video, we see no reflective surfaces on the street or clouds in the sky like we see in the reference image or preview image. I wanted to see if I could change this into a night scene, so I used this image as a reference, and it came out pretty well. It even put taillights on all the cars and rendered a bunch of people walking by on the sidewalk. Then I tried cheating and I placed this image in the preview start frame and rendered it. But it pretty much worked just like image to video. But when I placed it in as an image reference, it added rich orange and red hues to the original video. But it detracted from the clear cloud outlines and the stunning reflections that we got the first time. Of all the things that AI-generated video does well, fighting is definitely not one of them. This is a regular old-fashioned image-to-video generation. This is actual footage of some guys goofing around at a banquet, and I used this as the base video. And I used this other image as a reference image, hoping to get a shot of a small robot fighting a much larger one. But they came out the same size, and even though there was some warping and morphing, it basically kept to the flow of the original movements. If you notice in the background, there's a family with 2 kids and all different sizes of people. And this model replicates groups and their respective movements well. All the humans from the original video are replicated as robots, mimicking their movements with a good degree of accuracy. Here, I tried again to make a small robot fight a larger one, but it stuck to the reference video and made the 2 robots the same size. Notice the post-apocalyptic background and all the mutated humans. Now it is time to talk about profiles and perspectives. The model seems to pick up the first frame of the reference video and then gives you previews based on that first frame. Here, the first frame of the original video starts below the waist. so most of the generated videos will as well. I used this as the image reference, and I got the old man to change into a female robot. And I like the sci-fi studio as well. But the shots still begin below the waist, so I changed the reference image to a cheerleader. And now I got the old man to change into an older androgynous looking woman, and the shot is still beginning below her waist. So I trimmed the original so it begins above the waist, and the result inherited it and did begin above the waist. But I also got the exorcist thing going on. The other thing AI doesn't generate very well is gymnastics. So I use this video as the reference video, and I inadvertently generated one of the top 5 creepiest images. Then I was presented all these non-descriptive preview first frame images. And I chose this one, and it followed the original video pretty closely. You can see that the original video is actually 2 different videos with contrasting lighting edited together. But Luma's AI cut to each scene seamlessly while keeping the cinematography consistent. Along with pugilism and gymnastics, another thing AI video generators have a problem with is dancing. Can you tell the genuine footage? If you guessed this, young lady, you were right. I kept trying to use images of fairies as the reference image so I could generate some fairies dancing. But I kept getting different renditions of the original video. They were still interesting, but I couldn't generate a fairy dancing. Then I tried the strongest reimagined setting, but then the reference video movements broke and I got these weird movements. Then I went to the trusty humanoid robot in a bikini reference image, but the only thing it managed to change was her hair. She was a brunette now. Then I used the medium flex setting and a prompt Gemini wrote, but the wings stayed only for a moment before they quickly dematerialized. Finally, I used this image of a fairy, but all I got was this looking like a kindergarten play costume wings thing going on. To recap, first you have to click the Modify tab. Then you have to load up a reference video. I'm going to use this here. Then you go to the Style tab and you load a reference image in the Style tab. Then you click Preview Start Frame. Now you're in the Preview interface, and you can change one of the 9 settings and click the up arrow and get over 36 different preview images to start your video from. So we're going to start at the highest setting of Reimagine, or the 9th setting. Whoa, we got a chipmunk. Wow, that was weird. And as you see, they resemble the character in the video. Another chipmunk. Oh my gosh. That's usually not a good sign. The characters in the preview images resemble the video more than they do the reference image. And that looks like a crocodile right there. And so you see here's the 7th strength level in the Reimagine settings. And wow, this looks cool. That panther looking thing looks great. So let's go down to the lowest adhere settings. This is the 3rd strength level. And we got, that looks like Liberace monkey. Oh, did you see that hairstyle? Here at the lowest, you see they're all humans at the very lowest setting. So I'm going to go back to that panther if I could find it. There it is. I'm going to use this image as preview image. Sometimes the preview image guides the video more than the reference image and vice versa. Between the reference image and the dozens of preview images, you get a huge range of possibilities in which to augment your video creatively while maintaining the movements you want to see. Together, the video reference, image reference, preview image equals result. Video reference, image reference, preview image equals result. I wanted to test more dynamic movement and change the character again, so I used this jump rope video as the video reference, and I got another super creepy image of an alien. All of the preview images I got were wearing a helmet, not sure why, but at least this alien seemed to execute the movement similar to the video. Coming back to issues with profile and perspective, you want to be aware of the first frame of your video because the preview image interface can't yet seem to make sense of what to do with certain starting frames. Here you can see that since the starting image is the back of her head, the model places an image at the back of her head to start the video. Check out this video to learn more about Luma Labs loops.